Hi, everyone. Hey, it's Christina Taylor here with Stampin' Up. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from North Canton, Ohio. And today I have some projects to share with you that are just fun, all occasion projects, some things from the new catalog. So just sharing a little bit of creativity with you today. I do have this June's Paper Pumpkin kit that for those of you that haven't seen it, I mean, it is July, so you might have already seen it. I'm going to share that with you and just some other embellishments that I just recently got. And then we will do a little stamping. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera down and we'll get going. Okay, all right, so before we get started, if you see any things in here that you anything that I share with you today that you're wanting to order, you can find my online store at stampingyoucrazy.stampinup.net. My current hostess code is 6FXK3WH7. Now just use this code if you're just placing a general order. If you want your order connected to a club or workshop order where there's a hostess involved, don't use this code. Use the hostess code that's assigned to that hostess. For those of you that might be in Stamp Club, definitely refer to the email to make sure to use the code that's going to be connected to that hostess. And but when using this code, I generally have a hostess code that is available each month. And when you use this hostess code and connect your order to that, that tells me that you would like the free online or free card kits that I give away for your online order. So yeah, so I think that's it as far as the shopping and things like that. So let me just jump in with a few products before we get started stamping. So this is this was June's Paper Pumpkin. And we got a Night of Navy Stampin' Spot. And then this is the cardstock underneath it. This is the stamp set. And it goes along with the Countryside Corners Countryside Inn suite of products that's in the big book. So you've got a vase, this really fun background border type stamp. This kit focused on hospitality and welcome, like if you're having someone in or you're going to someone's house and you want to thank them for their hospitality, that's exactly what that says. This one says you're invited, like if you're having an invitation and you're wanting to welcome people into your home. This one is friend, and then there's of course a little flower and a stem. There was also a little set of coordinating dies that you could get to go along with this kit. Come back to this. So this is this month's kit, and in it you're making 3 of each of these projects, so a total of 9 cards that are a traditional standard size card. And let me open this up because I had done a kit, and this is an extra that I have, so this one is not open. Then I could show you the other one, but there's only pieces and parts of it left. This opened. I should have been a little bit more prepared, but today is going to be like stamping on the fly because we've just got a lot going on at the Taylor house today. So inside you'll have, of course, a color visual of the projects as Stampin' Up designed them. Inside you'll have all your step-by-step instructions. Okay, so you've got all 3 projects step-by-step. Of course, on this side here, you've got your basic ruler. If you're needing to do any measurements, that's great. Stampin' Up always includes that in your kit for measuring purposes. On the back side, you'll see a list of, or a visual of all the contents that are in the kit. Some alternative projects to do with this month's kit. As well as on this side, it shows you the actual supplies that you're going to use for each project before you get started and follow the directions on the other side. So it also lets you know that the colors that are in this particular kit and what it contains, 9 cards, 9 envelopes. So very nice, handy direction sheet. So in this, we've got some Terran tape that you get. You're also getting some Night of Navy embellishments, some of the enamel dots, and then some foam adhesive strips. And then you've got these beautiful envelopes. So pretty. They coordinate very well with the Countryside Inn suite, which I'll give you a peek of that. Just highlight that in the catalog. Then you've got some die cuts and some designer series paper, but these are your card bases. What I like to do when Stampin' Up! Gives us a double-sided card base, I like to cut them in half and put it on a solid card base. It instantly will double the amount of cards you can make from this kit. Instead of 9, you can make 18, but I've seen ladies make way more than just 18. So got 3 of that one, a couple of these these labels, which we're going to be using this die cut, the actual dies on this first project. Then you've got 3 of this with the coral designer series paper, again double-sided, so cut those in half, use those as your card front, and you know, double the amount of cards that you have with this kit. Same with this is Night of Navy, but it's got a white a white inside layer, which we have some of this paper in the kit or in the catalog this time. If you look in the back with the cardstock, it's colored on one side, white on the other. So you definitely want to check that out. That's something new. And of course, all your labeled pieces, the labels and extra elements for your cards, and they are already die cut out for you. You just pop them out. So we've got all that, all the goodies. This is a great kit, beautiful kit. I really love this suite, so I knew I was going to love this kit. And then coming up in July, so there's still time to subscribe to this. You've got until July the 10th to subscribe for the July Paper Pumpkin. It's fun in the sun, so it's going to be very whimsical, beach bright colors, fun. And the sentiments are supposed to be like encouraging and thinking of you, and just all those kind of sentiments that you want to send somebody when you're wanting to brighten their day. So I think that'll be a fun kit to look forward to. And let me grab the catalog here. Let me reach up here. I'm reaching above me to get the page it's on so I can give you a closer look. Most of you might already know because it's been a very popular suite of products since it came out. So this is the Countryside Inn suite of products. So you've got these beautiful blues with the balmy blue, misty moonlight, boho blue, and Night of Navy, and the beautiful DSP. And then this stamp, which we're going to be using. And then there's a set of dies that can cut out all these different stamps here, which you can kind of see here. And like I said, we're going to use it in this first project. There's also an embossing folder, the Countryside Inn embossing folder, which is super pretty. On the flip side, there's the stamps at Lasting Joy, and that coordinates very well with the imagery in this suite of products and the designer series paper. So I always want to point this out. We've used this in class as well, but it has beautiful sentiments in it, and then the stamp images complement that suite of products nicely. I will get that out of the way. Okay. Then next I want to share with you, this is the 2023-25 In Color Jute trim. And I think this is overlooked in the catalog. So I just want to point out, I won't take out all 5, but you get one of each of the new In Colors. And there are, I can't remember how many yards are on each spool, and I'm looking in here and it doesn't say, but plenty. I'll just tell you that your little goes a long way. So you get a spool of each In Color twine in this packet for $8. It's a great value. This is a great way to get those fibers to complement your projects in those colors at a very great price. So definitely just wanted to point this out. Again, it's the In Color Jute trim. $8. If you're looking for the item number, it's 161637. Then I've got some, oh, these are the new 2023 new core colors collection. So these are all of the new colors in our Stampin' Write markers. And let me open up this one. So let me show you. We'll use the bubble bath here. So the barrel of the marker is a little longer than our old markers that were retired, so to speak. And we still have our great brush tip, which you'll see here. Okay, great brush tip for coloring in and doing wider areas. Then you're going to see the, I'm sort of like that because it kind of blends in with my skin tone. The writing tip is more of a bullet point tip, and it just is going to be a better experience when you're coloring in. Our previous markers had more like of a pen tip, and it really wasn't conducive to coloring in fine areas. So this has really, it was a really great improvement on the markers to give yourself that larger bullet end instead of the writing tip. So just want to point those out. If you have our markers and you want to add the new colors, this is a great way to get them. You can get them in a pack of all, I think there's 11 here. Wait a minute, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 of the new in colors. In colors, no, core colors. Oh my goodness. I think the heat's getting to me. Okay, these are our in color pearls. So you've got them in the Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, and Starry Sky. These are the Tinsel Gems, and this is the 4-pack. I've kind of pulled them out so you can see all 4 colors. Sometimes they're under that lip and you can't see that 4th color. But these are really fun. They are great on projects. Super excited to work with those more. These are the 2023-25 in color dots. So you've got all 5 colors. So, you know, grab this, and you've got embellishments and a ribbon to go along with your cardstock and your ink for a perfectly coordinating project. This one's here. This is our Tinsel Gems, but in another 3-pack. So you can just see this. This is, I think it's the boho blue. I just got this one. I have not created with this pack, obviously, because it's not even open, but I believe it's Cabana and Fresh Freesia and ooh, I don't know which one. Let's look, because I don't want to tell you incorrectly. I don't want to say it incorrectly, so 3. Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia. Oh, it's Lost Lagoon. That could definitely go for Coastal Cabana though too, I think. What I found with using these Tinsel Gems and the new embellishments is that they take on the other colors. So they're very complementary of several colors in that color family. So, which I think just increases the versatility of the product. These are the opaque ovals. You know, pull them out because you can't quite see them because they're tucked under there. So you've got the, I think, Azure Afternoon, Bubble Bath, Lemon Lolly, and I want to say Butter Pecan, but it's Pecan Pie. I don't know why. I just want to say Butter Pecan. They both would be equally sweet. So those are a new embellishment. These are the adhesive back solid gems, and you've got the boho blue, Pecan Pie, and the Lemon Lolly again. They've got a little bit of like a fauceted texture to them. Oh, and I've got 2 packs of those for some projects that I've got coming up here. So just wanted to point out those embellishments to you, give them a little bit of a closer look. And then I've got a couple cards to share, some happy mail. So Sue, a dear friend of mine, she showed up, and if I could bring up my phone and show the picture, I would, but you know, I'm not quite that savvy, and I would probably stop the recording because I'm not going to do it correctly. Anyway, I celebrated my 20th year, my anniversary with Stampin' Up. And she was so sweet because on the day of my anniversary, which is May 23rd, she showed up here at my home with this beautiful congratulations card, which is such a sweet, sweet message in there. And she showed up with a container of those little nothing bundt cakes, you know, those little tiny things. Oh my gosh, they were like little bits of goodness. Oh, it was so sweet of her, and we just enjoyed those, and that was so thoughtful of her. So she gave me this beautiful card. Then I got this in the mail from Stampin' Up. So it's my pin for 20 years in this like beautifully packaged little box. So cute. So that was nice. And then I got this card. It was a paper pumpkin card. I got this from my friend Julie, just wishing me some sunshine for the day. And she has been a dear friend for a very, very long time. And that was super sweet of her. It brightened my day, that's for sure. And then this card came from my friend Diane, who she is also on my team. So isn't that just a super cute card? This was a celebration stamp set from this past January, February. And she did that, it's not called a lattice card, but it's like a fence. Like she's made that. Isn't that just adorable? So cute. So I thought that was beautiful. I thought I would share that inspiration with you as well. And she put the texture on. You can see it. It's got the wood grain texture on the little fence post there. So cute. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love Happy Mail. So if ever you want to send some Happy Mail, I will receive it gladly. Okay. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to take off my little jacket here because I'm having a bit of a hot flash. So, you know, such is life. Okay. So today we are using on this first project, Boho Blue and Misty Moonlight. We're going to use the Countryside Corners stamp set and then the Biggest Wish. I have been going to this stamp set quite a bit lately. It's such a versatile set. I love the fonts in here because you can use them for masculine, feminine, and it allows you to do two tones in your grading, which you'll see. So I really quite enjoy this stamp set. And then I'm using the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. This is a new folder in the catalog. I don't know if you can pick up on the texture there, but kind of just gives you like that old brownstone cobble kind of feel to it, I guess. So I've grabbed some rhinestone gems. These are currently not available, but FYI, the clearance rack is being refreshed tomorrow, July 6th, and it is always stocked with a ton of stuff when they do the refresh, and I highly encourage you to check it out. There are always deals to be had, and especially on embellishments. Well, everything's priced really great, but you can get like embellishments and ribbon for like $2 or $3. It's a great place to go. Definitely check it out. And remember to use the host code so you'll get some freebies too. Then I've got the Countryside Corners dies. So this is a nested series of dies, and I've gone ahead and die cut these out. Let me show you which ones I used. I use this one, I use this one, and this one. So those three are the ones we're using today. And here we've got our card projects or our card supplies. So let me give you some measurements here. We've got our envelope. We've got a piece of basic white that is cut 5.5 by 8.5. Another piece of basic white that is 4 by 5.25. And then I have gone ahead and die cut a piece of Misty Moonlight for us in the largest. So let's see, let me show you what I used. I used the largest die cut there. This is the second to the largest in the stamp set or in the die set. It's just the largest of the ones I used. and then a boho blue one in the middle one, and then a white, basic white with that smaller one. So those have already been die cut for us. And I went ahead and put the white piece in the embossing folder, and you can see here the texture that it put on the cardstock. So that has been done. And I don't have any stamps on the blocks here, so those need a birthday and happy. Okay. Grab some box here. I told you I'm kind of on the fly today. It's been a busy day. Roger is off today. We've been doing some things around the house, or I shouldn't really say around the house. It hasn't been the house, it's been the property. Trying to get the driveway finished excavating and all the things. All the things you ladies know. Okay, so this stamp is one large stamp. So I typically use it on my Stamparatus, but we're gonna get crazy today, and I'm just gonna use it on the big block, and we're gonna see how this goes. So come along with me on the ride here. All right, that there. These are for my grading, and we're gonna do a little stamping on here. So I need a piece of stamping paper. And we're going to use the Misty Moonlight. So generally you would stamp this and then die cut it. Today I've chose to get real crazy and just die cut it, and I'm gonna lay it on here. We're gonna see how it goes. So I am inking this up. Okay, it's such a big stamp that it's kind of gotta. Okay, then I'm gonna take my die cut piece and I'm gonna set it on top of it. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my stamping paper right over top. We're gonna see how this goes. A little living on the edge today. Okay, not bad. I like that. That's not bad. Okay, we're gonna see if we can do it again. And I don't want to jinx myself, so. Let's see. All right, so then I'm gonna take this one, and I don't want to do the entire oval this way. I want to get some stripes on it going this way. So I'm going to set my label right in the center. So I'm going to get all those lines going down my label. Press my hand on there. This works. Okay, great. This is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting because I was like, you know what? I didn't die cut these. I didn't prep them. I mean, stamp them. I need to got my stamp and scrub thingy. Okay. Clean this off with my chamois. Anyway, normally I would have them die cut, stamped, and all the things, or set up on a Stamparatus. Today, I'm just like, I'm gonna roll with it, and it's going pretty good. Okay, so we've got those stamped, and now we're gonna do our grading. And for this, I'm gonna bring in the foam mat because I'm using polymer stamps, so I want to let's see, I think I grabbed the reverse of what I wanted. I actually want to be happy on that one, and the birthday, this one. Okay. What I like about it is because you've got the bold words in, all 5 words, and then you've got them in cursive, so you can do like happy birthday or happy birthday in that way, things. Hopefully that makes sense in what I'm saying. So let me remount these because I want to do it a little differently. So, and I can't remember if I stamped this off and then stamped it. And I'm gonna be honest, that stamp looks like it was dirty, like it was put away dirty. So try this again. No, I think I stamped it full strength because otherwise it's too light. So we're gonna give it a go. We'll see. Okay, you've got happy on there. And then I'm gonna come in with the Misty Moonlight and put birthday. Yeah, that was definitely not green because this one looks like green. Boy, I'm really glad I tried that before I stamped it there. And I'm starting to second guess that I maybe used Night of Navy on this and not the Misty Moonlight. We're gonna find out real quick here. I'm looking, of course, I made an example. I'm looking at it, and it's not as dark as the ones and that is green too. I'm not really sure what color was used with this before. That is like really buggered up the stamps. So let's try it again. Hopefully I have some others already die cut. So we're gonna come right back in with this, and I'm gonna pull out the Night of Navy. Because I'm thinking that's what I used on my example, because it's a little bit stronger contrast. The three colors are all in the suite of products. And I'm thinking that's what I did. Okay, this is take two. Get that inked up enough. Okay, there's happy. I was trying to make sure my stamps are cleaned off after classes, but that one must have not gotten cleaned off because it's not happy, a happy color blue. It's like a, I don't know, crazy color, blue green. Okay, that's good. Now it's gonna dry a little bit. This boho blue is gonna dry a little bit lighter, but I do like that navy better. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut the ink pads. Okay. That one over there. We're gonna use this one. That away. Okay. All right, we've got all our pieces and parts. We're gonna go ahead and fold this in half. Okay. So it is like super hot here in Northeast Ohio right now. Oh my goodness, we're sweltering. And I'm gonna glue the embossed piece on there. And my dad, you know, my parents are farmers. I grew up on a farm. Now we live in the city now. Anyway, dad was cutting some hay down today to bale it. Well, he's gonna ted it tomorrow and then possibly bale it later, but if not, then definitely on Saturday. So we're hoping for no rain because that makes for interesting thing with the baling of the hay. And there's a good possibility that Roger will have to, my husband, will be helping my dad. Really should retire, but I don't know if a farmer ever retires, let's be honest. I don't think they know how to retire. They're just well, they're just farmers. They just go. They do. They work until when the sun comes up, and they work until the sun goes down. Okay, so I put that on dimensionals, that first layer. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right there. But I want to put some dimensionals on that one side because it's going to be popped up. And I'm gonna put just some regular adhesive on that. To hold it in place, it'll sit on top. So anyway, yeah, my dad was, he mowed down some hay today, some of the field. And Ethan came over to my parents, and my dad was attempting to do all this stuff in outside with the trailer and loading equipment. And Ethan was like, Grandpa, what are you doing? I was like, well, I gotta get this done. And so Ethan just jumped right in and of course was helping him because it's like, oh, it's too hot. My dad shouldn't be out there doing that. But again, not gonna listen to me. So it's just, gotta get it done. Gotta feed the cows, all the things. Okay, so we are gonna place this right about there. And on this one, I just put some mini dimensionals under it because they're not quite as high. They're shorter than the regular dimensionals. Not that they're real bulky in the first place, but I didn't want to put regular dimensionals on that. Okay, so there is our card. Just quick, simple. You could use this for masculine or feminine birthday card. I'm gonna put some gems on it. But I take your pick tool. Well, maybe I will. Where's that? I don't know what I did with that little guy. I seriously can't find it anywhere. It's probably literally sitting right in front of me. Yes, it is. There it is. There. Oh, little guy. Okay. So I need to get some gems. So I'm just going to take off a few here and put those on our card. Maybe like right there. Just like that. Just a little bit of bling. And I didn't do anything on the envelope with this one. Because I don't know if I'm going to send it to a guy or a girl. I'm thinking more like a guy, so I don't want to stamp like a lot of flowers on it. We want to do that. So I'm going to leave the envelope blank and kind of do something with it when I get ready to send it. So this is our first project. And let me clean up these things, put them away, and I'll be right back with a project. Let me just pause this recording for a minute. All right, I've got another project here for you. Okay, on this project, we are going to use the Coastal Cabana ink, and then we're going to use the Around the Bend dies, which are like this, a nice selection of dies, and these are great for just giving really fun edges to your projects. And then some great little detail pieces, which we're going to use here. I'll show you that in a bit. And then here's the stamp set Around the Bend. You've got these great images to go along your fun borders, and then some nice sentiments and some added little extra images. So let me get our stamps on the box. I'm going to use this really cool corner piece. And there's some ink on that black. So I'll put that on. And then I am going to stamp a You Are a Blessing on this. And I'm going to kind of round it with this die because actually that's what we're going to use. I'm going to use this die on our piece that we're die cutting out. And so I've just rounded the greeting to go along with it. That's the cool thing. One of the cool things about photopolymer is you see how I kind of have that rounded already. You can do that with the photopolymer stamps. And then, let me see. I think I'll do that on the corner of my envelope as well. I want to do this little guy just on the back side, just as a little stamp on my envelope. So on this project, I have used this die here. So it's a decorative edge one. And then I'm going to use these floral dies, this daisy in the center. These three, easy for me to get off of here, these three little flowers. And then I'm using this die here, which is just a bunch of little leaves, okay? So I've got a whole bunch of other ones that I could choose from. That's just what I wanted to use on this particular project. Okay, I'm gonna set those aside. And then let me tell you the supplies that we have. Of course, we've got our envelope, and then I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and this is cut a little different here. It's cut 4 7/8 by 8.5. Okay, so we're gonna make our card like almost square, but still a little bit rectangle, not quite as long as our traditional card. And you'll see why I've done that as we kind of go along here. Then I've got a piece of Coastal Cabana that is 4 by 4 1/2. And I've got a piece of basic white that is 4 1/4 by 3 7/8. And then I needed some extra just pieces of Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and basic white to do my die cutting. And I've gone ahead and done that for you. So we've got a Coastal Cabana, the larger daisy, and then a center. I've got the little flowers in here, and I think I'll pick out a big one and then kind of a smaller one. And then I'm going to pick out some of these leaves. Let's see. I actually probably should have die cut. There's a larger, let me see here. So any of you getting the kits, you'll have in here, you're going to have this larger leaf die because I think that would look better on the bigger flower. And I didn't go ahead and die cut any of those. So we'll just kind of roll with it. I think we'll be able to make it work with what I've got here. So I've got a selection of those little die cuts out of there. And then on this piece here, so what I did was take that and put it on my cut and emboss machine and ran that through the die cutting machine to get this piece. Just like this. Okay. So let me take these little dies. I don't want to lose that little circle. And that one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fold our cardstock in half. And I have brought those little gems back in that we used on the last project. And I'm going to grab one of these little leaves. Decided to get these two little leaf stamps on here. And we're going to use those on the project too. Okay. Go ahead and open the ink and bring my foam mat in and do a little stamping. So we're going to come in with our greeting first. And stamp that out there. Okay, you are a blessing. And then I'm going to put this corner stamp back right inside inside of my card. Okay. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do that on the front of my envelope too. Like the way that turned out. Okay. And then bringing my die cut piece back in, take this little leaf right on the edge over here. And then I'm going to do the opposite leaf and bring that right over here. So I've got these two little decorative leaves on each end. I took the stamp off. I didn't trust myself. It's like, I'm just going to stamp that. I'll stamp the wrong one. There's one so that it can go on each end and they kind of fan out. And then I'm going to put this little blossom just on the back of our envelope. And that's all the stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that ink pad and we will put this card together. So I want to layer it like this. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and I'm just going to touch on some of those little die cut leaves, not the whole thing, because the bulk of the base will be held down by where the greeting is at. So not necessary to kind of get crazy with the adhesive. And we'll come back in with some more Tombow adhesive. Put that on our card front. And we're just kind of framing that in. Okay. And now I'm going to build my blossoms here. So we'll put a little center on that daisy. And then I'm gonna, well, I need to get some glue on here. Yikes, more than what I needed. Of course, more than what I needed. So I'm gonna come in with these little green stems. And just kind of put those in place. So yeah, I would see how they're tiny like that. The bigger one, I'll show you my example, like the one I originally designed for this. And any of you that are getting the card kits for this month, you'll get that bigger stamp, or I shouldn't say for this month, it would be for the month of June. And then if you're in stamp group, you're also going to be getting this kit. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna come in with some more glue, put these little stems on the back. Not stems, leaves. Okay. That one in place. So delicate. This one down. Okay. Ah. It wanted to move on me. Okay, there's our card. Super simple, cute. I left a little dot in here. Let's see if we can still get that out. Yeah, put a little dot still in my center there. So I'm gonna come back in with these blue gems. Again, watch the clearance rack. Watch the clearance rack for sure. And pick up some gems. Just put it right on the end of those stems. Okay, and there is our card. So I'll show you here, right there. Okay, so let me show you here the difference. So this is the card. This is my example. See how that leaf that makes such a bigger impression on that bigger leaf. These little ones you can't see as well. You can still see the green there, but this is just a much more prominent example. So your kit will have this die cut in there for you. All right, so let me set this aside, and then let me get one more project for you to share a little bit more creativity. All right, I am back with another project here for you. Hang in there with me, ladies. We are on the home stretch. Okay, on this project, we are using Pebble Path, which is a new in color. Moody Mauve, also a new in color. And then we're using Granny Apple Green, which is part of our Brights collection. Using the frayed ribbon, and again, this ribbon, I love it, but it's been retired. Definitely check out the clearance rack, because if this is on there, I'm grabbing several spools of it. I love this ribbon, and I'm going to show you why as we create this project. If you've been to my classes lately, you have seen us use this, and I cut it in half. I love this ribbon. It's a beautiful ribbon. Then we're using the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. We are using the Stylish Stitch shapes, which have circles, banners, and squares all stitching around them. We're using that, and I went ahead and already die cut for you the second largest circle. It's already done. The stamp set that we're using is the Cheerful Daisy stamp set. It's new in the catalog, a beautiful suite of products. You've got the stamp set, the designer series paper, and then the dies. Very, very pretty grouping of products. Highly recommend this. Paper is stunning. And we're not going to use the dies on today's project. We're going to use the stamps, but I just wanted to show those, share those with you today. And then we are using the Rays of Light large background stamp, which I need to grab my big block again, because we're going to get crazy and not use the Stamparatus since it's not a current product. I'm going to refrain from using it, but I still do use it in my classes because it's so helpful. And then, like I said, we've got the inks there. So I've already set those are. I'm going to pull this out and put that on my block. Okay. And then our supplies. We've got, of course, our white envelope, about a 6-inch piece of that frayed ribbon. I've already die cut the stitch circle for our project. The card base is 5.5 by 8.5 in Moody Mauve. Then we've got a piece of Moody Mauve that is cut 4 by 5.25. And you can see I've already gone ahead and embossed this with the Painted Texture 3D folder. So that's already embossed, gives it this beautiful texture. Love this folder. So that is done. Then we've got a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5.25, and another piece of basic white that is 2 by 5.25. Okay. So let me get out the stamps that we are going to use. So need several blocks here. We're going to use this stem. We're going to use this inside the shading area of the flower. We're going to use the outline of the flower. The little center dot, which we'll just put on this long block here. And then, let's see, which reading do I want? Your friendship means everything. That's, I'll use that one. Yes. Okay. Just grabbing another block here. And then I need the leaf for our stem. Okay, so I've used quite a few stamps out of this one. We use this, and this. Actually, this whole cluster right here of stamps. So we'll set that aside. We're going to start by folding our cardstock in half. Okay. And I'm gonna do a little stamping. So we need to stamp on all these pieces. This is gonna be, okay. And where's my foam mat? There it is. These are photopolymer, so we want to stamp, well, the daisies are. This is going to be a little different. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up our inks. Just put my finger in that double path. And the green, apple green. Okay, so what I'd like to do first, I'm going to actually start by stamping my greeting, because then I can stamp my flower around it. So I'm going to put that right on my circle first. And then I'm going to come in with, let's see, I'm going to do my outline of my flower next. So I can kind of fit that on there. I'm going to go like that. Okay, so I'm stamping that full strength in the Moody Moth. The outline is full strength. Then I think I want to stamp off the shading part. Let's see how, if I like that. Okay, yeah, I like that, because what it does is, see, it allows you to see that texture on the stamp. So you get the lines in there, and then you get that nice shadowing, filling in color. And then because this is stamping and we can put whatever colors we want on our project, I'm actually going to stamp the center of this, the pebble path. I'm going to stamp it off once and then come in and stamp that down, because I feel like it'll tie in the greeting. So totally up to you. You can do what you'd like. When you're stamping, I'm just choosing that route. So then I'm going to take my stem and just come in there, stamp that down on my flower, and add a leaf and my granny apple green. Okay. So I've got that piece. Now I want to do a little something on the inside of my card. So we'll come back and stamp another daisy here. I probably should have done that when we were doing. Okay. Come back in with that center, stamp off. There, love that. And the stem. Okay. And we'll get a leaf on there. All right, so we've got the inside of a card. Now we're like, oh, look, Christina, you didn't do your envelope. No, I didn't. So let's repeat it. By the time we're done with this card, all of you are going to be like, yeah, we know what we're doing, Christina. You've done it 3 times. Stamp that. Come in with a pebble pen. Okay. And the stem again. And the leaf. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut the green and the pebble path, because we are done with those. We're done with all these stamps. Okay, the envelope. Now we just need to do this lovely guy. Okay. So for this one, I am going to use this ray of sunshine here. And I'm going to make a piece of designer series paper in essence. So this ink pad is very juicy, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. We're gonna see how this goes again, because just like we did on the countryside corners dies, we're just gonna roll with it and see how it goes. So I'm gonna set my cardstock on the background stamp, and press on there. Just pressing in place, kind of running my fingers on there. May as well go ahead and do around the perimeter because it's very well inked. We're gonna see how this goes. I like it. That works out really well. Okay, let me put this aside. That's gonna tone down a little bit. You're like saying, like, Christina, that is super dark. As the Moody Mauve dries, it really lightens. I found it, I shouldn't say really lightens, but it becomes more its true color. I found that when you're stamping it, it stamps very dark. So while those things are drying, we're just going to come in and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the ribbon. So I like this ribbon. I think it's nice and bold, has a wide width to it, has a very nice soft texture to it. But for me, I like to cut it in half. I'd like it to have just, I like it to be about a 1/4 inch than the thickness that it is. I just like it to be a little slimmer. So I am simply going down the center of the ribbon, cutting it down the middle. Okay. And so you end up with this. Now, what I also like to do is just go along with my finger and pull a couple of the fibers off of it to give it a frayed look on the side that I just cut. That's what I like to do. I like it in particular. You can do what you'd like. I just like a little extra fray right there. Okay, we are ready to layer and assemble our card. So first, what we want to do is get this piece that we've made from our stamped, our large background stamp. We've made kind of like our own designer series paper. We're going to get that. Put on our embossed piece of cardstock. There we go. And then I'm going to put this ribbon in place. And I like to use some Scotch tape. When I'm putting ribbon on, if I'm flapping it around the backside, I just like to get a piece of Scotch tape and tape that in place. You can do whatever works best for you, run adhesive down it, does not matter, but I like to put a piece of ribbon on each end and run it down and keep it in place. Then when I'm putting this on, when I put a piece of ribbon on it like that, I like to use my Stampin' Seal. It's just a little stronger as far as dealing with like that shiny tape that's on the background. So I find that it works well for me. Again, you do what works best for you, whatever adhesive you like. I'm going to take that piece and mount that right on my card front. Then come in with that die cut circle and put some dimensionals on there. I'm going to pop that up. I love that because it looks like it's like all those little rays of sunshine are bursting from that die cut circle. And then we've got our inside piece as well. So let's get some adhesive on that. Side. Okay. All right. Let me get these things out of the way. So then we've got our third card for you right there. All right, let me bring back in what we have done today. So we've got this card with our daisies and our rays of light. And then we've got this card with our around the bend. And lastly, this card with our the countryside in suite of products. So I hope this has given you some great ideas just for some fun creativity to share with you today. Let me flip the camera back around here. Hang on just a second. Okay, as you can see, I had to take off my sweater. It just had a hot flash. It just how it just happened. So, and it's like 90 degrees outside. So, I get cold in the house and then I got to go outside and warm up. So, I hope that you enjoyed the projects today. Thank you so much for sharing or letting me share this creativity with you. And if you have any questions about anything that you saw in today's projects, or with the projects that I shared with you, or really anything else, you are welcome to message me at Stamp Me Crazy, at sbcglobal.net. I'm happy to answer your questions. So I think that's it for today. So remember to take some time for creativity, make something beautiful, and send it along to brighten somebody's day. All right, until next time, happy stamping, ladies.